Good morning. We got a juicy one for you today. We have talked about mood and gut connected for a long time, but today we're going to delve into some science. Are you sitting there fighting with depression, yet you look at your stomach and you have bloating? Not sure they're connected to the gut, or did your gut health issues trigger the food sensitivities? Which one is it? It's like the chicken before the egg or the egg before the chicken. Which one came first? Sometimes that is a much more relevant question than we might actually think. So today what we're going to talk about is how your emotional state impacts your digestion and what that has to do with your food sensitivities or your bloating or the IBS, IBDD, the gassiness, stinking up rooms, sending out loud gas, embarrassing the crap out of yourself. You don't have to do all of that. You don't have to go through any of that. We're going to talk today about those connections, and then we're going to talk about what you can do about it. Because a lot of the food sensitivities out there nowadays, they're related to your gut health. They're not actually food sensitivities. They're just foods that are triggering reactions within your gut because your body is overwhelmed. There's a lot more science to it than that, but effectively that's what it is. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So grab your coffee. You ready? Let's go. First of all, I talked about the connection between disease and gut health, right? Chicken before the egg. Chicken. You know, Canadian Journal of Medicine actually put out their side articles or side publications, an addendum to, not an addendum. I guess it is an addendum. It's an add-on. An extension of their medical journals came out with a study, or published the findings from a study, that basically said that 30 to 40% of the US population has issues with their gut and elimination systems. So effectively, IBD, IBS, IBDD, IBS, SIBO, constipation, diarrhea, gassiness, cramping, headaches, fogginess, bloating, so we go on and on. Sensitivities, right? So that's 30 to 40%. 30 to 55%, not of the 30 to 40, but of the US population, suffers from food sensitivities. So 30 to 40% of us have some sort of issue with our gut, and 30 to 55% of us have issues with food sensitivities. And it goes without saying that only about 15% of us actually have food sensitivities, right? So when you're looking at how you're eating, and if you're getting sick or if you're dealing with any of the gut symptoms that I mentioned so far, and believe me, there's plenty more, but you and I would be sitting here for a very long time going through a list, and nobody needs to do that. So if that's the case, then the chances that the gunk that you were dealing with, the crap, the ick, the sick, all of that is not only unnecessary, but it is something that you can heal and you can move on from. Sometimes it takes longer to heal. Every one of us is different. We have talked about biochemical individuality a lot. If you don't know what that is, I'll put a link for the video below in YouTube so you guys can watch that, because it's effectively what it is, to keep it short and simple in here, is it's your body telling you, and you consciously understanding what's happening. Okay, your body needs different things than mine. Biochemical individuality is the science of figuring out what those things are for yourself. It doesn't take a big scientific process either. It actually takes learning how to listen to yourself, okay? How to interpret the signals and what they actually mean is not necessarily what you are craving for. Chocolate, sweets, means you need energy. It means you need magnesium. It means you might need some more potassium or some more minerals in your system. Or maybe you need fuel for protein or to fuel stress, added stress, or something that has come under attack in your body, some sort of viral thing or bacterial thing. And now you're craving sweets, you're craving chocolate, or you're craving, comfy foods. It means you actually need protein. So see, there's differences here. Our body works in very serious ways. So that's effectively biochemical individuality. It's figuring out what your body actually needs in you as an individual, because what I as an individual need is completely different than what you need. It's based on your genetics, your environment, your upbringing, your health to this point, all of it. All right, so that being said, let's get back into this gut health discussion. So now the one factor, we're going to make this simple, okay? We're going to go through three things that you can actually, No, I actually have four things. I have four things for you. I don't have three things. I have four things. I originally had three and I added one that you can actually do. But before we get there, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about serotonin and the other hormones. Okay? Serotonin, 95% of serotonin is produced within your gut. Serotonin, happy gene. That's what it is. Serotonin is one of the four that regulate your mood. Okay? Serotonin makes you happy. Right? Now, what are the other three? For reference point, endorphins is pain reducer. Oxytocin. Ooh, there we go. That's a tongue twister. That's our love hormone. We feel love. We feel all the warm fuzzies, right? And dopamine. Dopamine gives you that sense of pride. Dopamine is what is released, and you just kind of go, yep, that's me. I'm right here. That was all me. That's what dopamine does. Now, we're going to go back into serotonin because when it comes to the gut, serotonin is the one that you kind of want to focus on a little bit more. And here's why. So, tryptophan. How many of you thought Thanksgiving? So tryptophan is actually what your body looks for to synthesize serotonin, to create it, right? So when you're looking to increase serotonin, and here's why. When you increase serotonin, your cortisol is automatically decreased. You cannot have an excess production of cortisol and an excess production of serotonin at the same time. Now, when we're stressed, cortisol is released, right? When we're overly stressed, or it's something that is chronic, so it's taking a longer period of time than just a short interim, then more and more cortisol is released, and then it can be an overdose of cortisol, right? And then now your body is sluggish, you're tired, it's causing all sorts of issues because your body cannot function properly at proper paces, it's not metabolizing well, digestion is sluggish, elimination is sluggish because stress goes up, cortisol goes up, immune system goes up, and all functionality within your digestive system comes to a full-fledged stop. That means no serotonin. So, you are out there fighting mental illness. You are out there fighting depression. You're tired. You can't really put a smile on your face. You don't really know why, but you just can't do it. And even if no diagnosed mental illness, if you are mentally ill, right, if you're suffering from a mental illness, you are on prescriptions. It actually helps you to build your serotonin. However, it does not replace the prescriptions. You and your doctor know best. That's it. I'm not a doctor. I'm a nutritionist. You want to talk about food? Right here. I know how to use food to help you improve your health and your well-being, right? Regardless of your health state, regardless of where you're sitting, regardless of whether you're on prescription or you're not on prescription. for a healthier place and healthier way. But I do believe that there are situations where you need to have medicine. Okay. So now that being said, with your serotonin, you want to increase your serotonin. You want to decrease your cortisol. The number one way that you can control doing that is to eat more foods that have tryptophan. So now we're not talking overdose, right? We don't talk overdose. Balance. You eat everything in moderation, a wide variety of foods, right? Foods that contain a wide or an increased amount of serotonin include avocados, legumes, seeds, nuts, definitely animal products, including your turkey, but it also includes some beef, lamb, pork, pretty much everything. And there are also some fruits and vegetables, corn, stuff like that. But for the most part, avocado, olive oil, nuts, seeds, and legumes. Those are going to be the highest volume containing, or the foods that contain the highest volume of tryptophan. Okay, so you want to include those in your diet for a number of reasons. A, healthy fats, healthy proteins. Your body loves it. It feeds the happy gene, or the happy hormone. I need to rephrase my statement. So it feeds the happy hormone, which contributes to feeding a happier body, right? It also contributes to keeping that cortisol up and helping you manage stress a little bit better. So if your serotonin is up, cortisol has to stay down. I'm going to say that one more time because I really want you to get that. When your serotonin consumption is up, cortisol production is down. It cannot live in the same place. You want some sort of balance, but one's already always greater than the other. There's no true 50-50 in that. And you don't want an excess of one versus the other. You want some sort of semblance of balance. So try and keep it 40-60, somewhere in there, right? And the way to do it is to include tryptophan foods like your animal-based products, turkey meal for sure, but I mean, think about it. Your sweet potatoes have tryptophan in them. Regular red and yellow potatoes have tryptophan in them. The purple ones, the Japanese sweet potatoes that taste like red potatoes. Your starches, your seeds, your nuts, some of your grains. Tryptophan's everywhere. So, well-balanced, healthy diet, 80% plants, 20% animal, will get you a really healthy consumption of tryptophan. Okay? And one of the other things that you really want to pay attention to, and the reason that I'm harping on this so much, serotonin, yes, it regulates mood, but it also regulates your sleep function. It helps with digestion. Okay? So if you're happy, your gut's happy, right? When you're stressed out, your gut gets all kind of knots and like you feel it, right? Your emotions kind of live in your stomach. They do. So when they live in your stomach, then you need to make sure that you're doing something to help your emotions, right? And that's kind of the reason why your emotions live in your gut. You feel them all over, right? But your emotions. I lost my screen for a second. So if you can improve on your digestion, okay, by making sure that you get some of these ingredients that help boost production of hormones, happy genes, and basically fulfill the nutrients and the nourishment that your body feels is best for you, then you're going to sleep. Digestion's going to be healthier. Your mood's going to be improved, but your mood's going to be improved because everything else is running the way that it should, and nothing's distracted. So that's number 2. So you want one, increased amount of tryptophan foods. Okay. And then number 2, we're going to talk about reducing stress. Now, obviously, eating a healthy diet that addresses all your nutrient needs is one way. But you also need some other things. So breathing, making sure to take a few minutes on a really super stressful day or during a super stressful time. Right now, everyone's getting ready to go back to school. I think some of y'all even have gone back to school. I think the school by the boys school, by the gutter up there, started back last week. So some of you have already started back. And this is a very stressful time for those of you with kids that go to school and have summer break, because they've been off and now we've got to get back into routine. You've got to get back into having them be prepared. They need the supplies that they need. Some of them need new clothes. You know, a lot of parents use this time frame to revamp their wardrobe. I haven't gotten there yet. We're still just on that 24 or 12-month cycle. Nobody takes breaks based on age, not necessarily on year, right? So doing things like breathing activities for just a couple minutes, several times a day, meditating a couple times a day, doesn't necessarily mean you have to sit there and go, oh. You don't have to have mantras. You don't have to have a prayer ritual. You need to do what is best for you. If in your heart, what you need is just to sit, close your eyes, and think for a minute, whether it's praying, whether it's meditating, whether it's chanting, whether it's singing your favorite song at the top of your lungs, any of those help you clear your mind. That's what meditation is for, is to help recenter and clear your mind, so that when you take that next step forward into your day, when you're done meditating, it's like you're refreshed. You know, I'm just moving about my day. And now I'm feeling much more capable of handling the stress that is just here because of the time of the year it is, right? Or for any number of other reasons. Now, that being said, all of those things help you reduce your cortisol, which helps you increase your serotonin. I am learning from Miss Rachel, you guys. If you give yourself a couple seconds, I bet you have the answer. And you know these things in the back of your head. We have been taught them long before. When we were created with these signals, and just growing up, we have lost. I am here sending all this information out to you guys. All right, so now reduce your stress. Make sure you're doing at least one activity every day to reduce your stress. Something else that really helps. Ready? Actually working out, exercise. A daily exercise regimen not only helps you reduce your cortisol, thereby allowing space and room for serotonin to be increased, it also reduces or releases endorphins, which endorphins are pain relieving, right? So the endorphins work alongside the serotonin, improving your mood, right? Mood lives in the gut. Gut gets improved, digestion improves, health improves, elimination improves. All right. I'll get off my little geeky trip maybe one day. I don't know. All right. So now, number 3, and I've already talked about this a little bit a few minutes ago, and that's eat a healthy diet. 80% plant, 20% animal is generally a good call. You know your body. And if you don't, take some time to figure it out. If you need help with that, that's what I'm here for. So DM me. We can set up your free initial consultation. We'll go through a few things. A lot of times what happens is, it's 50-50. Some of you I work with, some of you, our conversation answers enough questions for you that you are very successful going off on your own. This depends. Everyone's a little different. So don't discount that free time with me. I don't sell. If we get to the end of our conversation and you and I both think that this needs to keep going, we'll figure out a way to make it happen, because I have plenty of options available. But for now, it's literally just, Here's your free session. Write down your questions. Let's have a chat. Because a lot of diet questions can actually be answered relatively quickly. A lot of times, all you guys need is a little accountability. Just someone that your brain knows. You talk to somebody, they're in the same group, right? And if you want to check in with me, by all means, I love that. I absolutely love when people check in on me or check in with me, not on me, with me, to let me know how they've done. It's amazing. Because a lot of times issues are resolved with simple shifts within your diet and the choices that you're making. Sometimes in the preparation, sometimes in the actual choices. Just kind of depends. Some of y'all are stressed out about your diet for no reason at all, but you don't realize it until we have a conversation. And then from that point forward, it's no longer stressful. It's no longer overwhelming, which is how it should be. It really is. All right. So the very, very last suggestion I have, improving your emotional state as it affects your digestion. Okay. If you've gone through these three things, you're still struggling with mood shifts, struggling to get happy, struggling to find energy, you're still suffering from some bloat, some IBS, you just feel icky and off, any of the related symptoms to gut health, gas, UO, IBS, all that. But in addition, cramping, vomiting, gas, diarrhea, constipation, urine that smells like acid waste dump. If you're suffering from any of those, then that is when you do a reset. Now, starting last Wednesday, we kicked off the 3-week gut health reset. Now, that is actually available to you for free without the weekly guidance. You can come in, you can use it. I would like feedback on your experience, but it's available for free. You get the PDF, you get access to the app, and you get access to the entire program. The piece you won't be getting is the weekly check-ins and the consultations and things of that nature. However, it's available. If you're interested in doing the 3-week gut health in conjunction with those 3 weekly group sessions, we will have another one starting in September, probably more towards the end of September. So right around, I want to say the 17th. I don't know if that's a Wednesday. 17th, 20th, something like that. So I have a reset available for you guys. It's relatively easy to follow. It's 3 weeks. It resets your entire system. It helps you return your gut to balance. Because if you do the other three, if you improve your eating habits by increasing your tryptophan, if you increase your healthy diet and really focus and narrow it down and say, I've been eating this healthy diet for 6+ weeks, what the heck? And you are doing your stress management activities on a regular basis and nothing is helping, it's reset time. It really is. And for some of you, that means it's going to cost money. For others, it's going to cost time. One or the other. How the world works, right? Once you finish your reset, then the gradual reintroduction of anything that was removed, because I do not agree with keeping things eliminated permanently unless it aligns with your health and well-being. If in your brain you have decided, I no longer need these foods, I'm no longer craving these foods, I am perfectly fine without them, that's a different story than you can't have this or you can't have that. A lot of times that reset also eliminates food sensitivities that were there because of the imbalance within your gut. It's all related. You know, the sensitivities, the gut, the mood. It really is its own triangle. An equilateral triangle. And when those suckers are not in equal alignment, everything goes haywire. Everything. When you get to this point, a reset is probably the very last resort, but it's the one that's going to be the most. And in some cases, many more than I would like to say or think about, 30 to 55% of you could use a gut health reset, or 30 to 40%. Sorry, the 30 to 55 is the food sense. 30 to 40% of you could use a gut health reset. So if that is something that you think you need, comment below, happy tummy, or DM that to me. And you and I will set up an initial consultation. I can send the app to you and we can chat about that and get you started so you can feel better. So here's the thing, you guys. You know you feel better when you do one thing or, 2-3 things. And you wake up within a 72-hour period feeling better than the day before. In a lot of cases, it's pretty significant. If you try something and that doesn't happen, there's something more going on. And it's not necessarily throw in the towel, let's do something else. We need to be mindful. You don't get to stop and start. You're going to screw yourself up. But we're mindful. We're going to improve our emotions by improving our gut. Emotions affect our gut. Our gut affects our emotions. We have management over our emotions. We have management over what goes in our mouth. We are CEO. We are the president. So as CEO and president, start dictating and delegating what should happen with your body. You could say so. Now take that control, take that charge, and let's get you into balance so we can have some happy people around here. How about it? Good. Happy people. It works for me. Does it work for you? Perfect. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you today. If you have questions, you have any concerns, or like I said, if you want to talk about what's happening within your body, you need to have a little chat, DM me or comment happy tummy, and you and I will get in touch and we'll put something on the books. We'll have a little chit chat. How about it? All right, I will chat with you later. Have a wonderful Monday. Don't let the new school year stress you out. Happens every single year. Take some deep breaths. Hug those babies. Because I know year in, year out, trying to send them into a higher year. I'm looking at my boys thinking, we only have a few more months and they bump up in their class. That's the second time they've done it, or third time they've done it. So I can only imagine shifting from elementary and middle and high school and college. So for all you mamas and daddies out there, all you parents, sending lots of love, lots of hugs, and lots of stress-free breathing moments. Sound good? All right, guys. I'll chat with you later. Bye.